As an advanced medical practitioner and pharmacist practicing in family medicine, a very common problem that a lot of my patients have is feeling tired all the time and wanting to know exactly how to boost their energy levels, which I'm sure a lot of the people watching this video are wondering that too. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 9 of my best science-backed tips to help boost your energy levels from today. So let's begin. So diving straight into tip number 1, I want to tell you a little patient story to begin with. I had this patient feeling tired all the time who came to me, and when I was taking lifestyle from this patient, I quickly realized that their lifestyle was quite sugar intense. That's probably the best way to put it. So they'd have their Starbucks every day, and it wouldn't just be a standard coffee, it would be like an ice white mocha type drink with lots of sugar in it. They'd have a cereal bar every day, lots of biscuits, chocolate, you name it. So the first thing that I advised this patient to do was to do 30-day no sugar challenge. And the main reason I did this was because they were having so much sugar in their diet, and when you're having all the sugar, you're constantly getting these spikes followed by these lows. Okay, so just by doing that, this patient, I remember very vividly, had a massive turnaround in the amount of energy that they had. So as part of tip number 1, I would highly advise trying a 30-day no sugar challenge. You might feel a little sluggish to begin with, that's completely normal, but after a couple of days you will come to yourself and you'll start to feel more energetic. And here's what you need to do. 1, cut out those sugary drinks. If you're having coffee, that's fine, but if you're having sugary coffees or soda or anything like that, you need to cut it out. Opt for, if you're going to have coffee, have it with no sugar. If you're going to have tea, have normal tea without any sugar, and avoid soda. 2, you're going to swap sugary snacks for fruit. 3, you're going to read the labels of everything you're eating. Believe me, you're going to find sugar in things you never thought would have sugar. For example, salad dressing, all right, that's got loads of sugar in it. So read the labels of everything that you're having. 4, if you're looking for a healthy dessert, dark chocolate is really good and usually has very no sugar in it, depending on the variety that you get. And 5, prepare as many meals as you can at home. And if you're looking for some sweetness to your dishes, to your foods, you can potentially add cinnamon. That's a good alternative without having all the harmful properties of sugar. So this challenge is going to help maintain normal sugar levels, and it's going to start making you feel much healthier and hopefully more energetic. Straight into tip number 2, hydration. This one is often massively overlooked, and we need to stay hydrated for so many bodily functions. It helps regulate temperature, it helps transport nutrients and remove waste. And by the way, even mild dehydration can actually reduce our cognitive function. Dehydration basically causes our blood volume to decrease. Our heart has to pump harder to push the blood and the nutrients all over our body and to our brain. So now you can understand why even a little bit of dehydration can leave you feeling fatigued. So tip number 2, make sure you're having plenty of water. Aim for about 6 to 8 glasses of water every single day. Tip number 3, let's talk about sleep. I had this patient who would aimlessly scroll on YouTube Shorts at night time instead of sleeping. So as a result, what they would do is they would top up their sleep during the day, okay, by having little naps. Now here's the thing about napping during the day, there are different thoughts about them, but overall, in my opinion, limiting your sleep so that you're just sleeping at night time is far better than having little naps regularly during the day. And this is basically what we call sleep restriction therapy, okay? So you're gonna have 8 hours of sleep at night time, and during the day, you are not gonna nap. If you are napping during the day, that needs to stop now, so that when it comes to the evening, you're feeling more tired and you're ready to go to sleep. Aim to sleep at the exact same time every night and aim to wake up at the same time every morning. I do have a video talking about the Abraham 25 and 5 sleep technique. It's my very own technique. I will leave links to it in the description. Definitely do check it out if you're someone who struggles to sleep, because many people online on YouTube have found this technique helpful. Tip number 4, let's talk about stress. It's a major energy drain. Look, when you are stressed, your body releases adrenaline, it releases cortisol. These hormones basically initiate that fight or flight response. Now, whilst it is a great energy boost for that initial fight or flight response, it can wreak havoc on your body afterwards, leaving you feeling massively drained. So if you are someone that lives a very stressful life, a stressful job, stressful life and things you have to deal with, try relaxation techniques like yoga, like deep breathing exercises, even going for a walk to take your mind off the things can be massively helpful. Just 10 to 15 minutes of mindfulness or meditation, or even going for that walk, can help lower those cortisol levels and help us feel far more relaxed, and basically helping us with our energy levels. And now a wellness tip from our sponsor, Life Extension. Many of us know that getting enough vitamin D is essential for optimal health, but it can be tricky. So sunshine, it's a great source of vitamin D, but we can't always rely on it. And that's especially in colder months, or if we spend a lot of time indoor. Oh, and by the way, vitamin D is essential for so much more than just bone health. It also supports heart, brain, and immune function. Life Extension's vitamin D3 supplement offers a potent formula in an easy to swallow soft gel, helping to ensure that you get the vitamin D you need to support your body's needs. And to learn more, head to lifeextension.com, link in the description. Life Extension, thank you for being our trusted sponsor. Tip number 5, let me ask you a question. Are you overworking yourself either with work or your family and your commitments? Because this can lead to burnout. Our brains are using a significant amount of energy, particularly when we're multitasking. We've got so much going on. And this stress from overworking not only releases all the cortisol and adrenaline that we spoke about earlier, but it's also depleting a lot of our energy levels. So try and cut down the workload, try and prioritize what is important, and maybe even start learning to say no more often, just to give yourself some more time to breathe and relax. Straight on to tip number 6. This is the number one thing everyone needs to be doing if they're feeling low on energy levels, and it's exercise. I know you might think, I don't have energy to do exercise, I'm already tired, but this is the number one thing that's going to actually boost your energy levels, start making you feel better. Exercise will basically increase our blood flow to our muscles, to our brain, and provide that natural boost of energy. Research shows that regular exercise actually increases the amount of mitochondria we have in our cells, which is basically responsible for releasing that energy. Exercise also releases those feel-good endorphins, okay? Those are what give us energy and make us feel more motivated to do things. So I cannot stress the importance of exercise, even if it's going for a walk, a slightly faster walk, and going, 20-30 minutes a day. It can work wonders. Tip number 7, if you are a smoker, then please continue watching. If you're not, feel free to move on to tip number 8. But if you do smoke, this is the number one thing you need to quit. It, 1, saps our energy levels. Secondly, the nicotine in the tobacco is a stimulant, which basically makes it far more difficult for us to get good quality sleep, basically meaning we're going to feel tired all the time. Thirdly, nicotine also speeds up your heart rate, and this basically raises your blood pressure as well, again leaving us feel so tired. So if you do smoke, please consider quitting. I know it's easier said than done. We do have quite a few videos on the channel that have helped many people. If you think you'd find it helpful, I'll leave a link to it in the description. Definitely do check out at the end of this video. Moving straight on to tip number 8, what we eat has a massive impact on how much energy levels we get. Now, have you ever heard of low glycemic index foods? If you haven't, please don't worry, I'm going to give you a quick explanation now. These are foods like whole grains, vegetables, nuts, healthy oils, and it basically means they provide a steady source of energy throughout the day. The main reason for this is they break down slowly, okay? So because your body breaks down slowly, you don't get this massive peak of energy like you would do with high glycemic index foods. The low glycemic index foods break down slowly, so release energy slowly throughout the day without giving you that massive peak followed by that massive drop. So I will leave more information on low glycemic index foods in the description below. But basically aim for a healthy whole food diet, lots of home cooked meals, lots of fruits and vegetables, and you'll be hitting the low glycemic index meals completely. Tip number 9 is all about using caffeine to your advantage. But remember, you've got to use it wisely. Caffeine will improve your alertness and concentration by stimulating your nervous system. But here's the thing, too much of it, especially too late through the day, will have a negative effect, and this is mainly because it's going to affect our sleep, leading to poor sleep, so you're not going to feel nice and refreshed the next day. In terms of how much to consume, do not have more than 4 cups of coffee a day. Each cup of coffee has on average about 100 milligrams of caffeine. The maximum caffeine you should really have in a day is 400 milligrams, that's tops, so try and aim for a bit lower than that. But here's the thing, with caffeine, try and have it in the morning instead of later on in the afternoon, okay? I'd say a cutoff should be no later than 2 p.m. you should be having coffee, okay? So try and fit in your coffee earlier through the day. Remember guys, it does take time to build healthy habits, so give it time, do these tips one step at a time until you can build on them, until they help you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you found this information helpful. If you know anyone who would find this video helpful as well, please do share it to them. We spend a lot of time and effort in making this evidence-based information videos for you guys, so I really do hope that you found it helpful. Please also do remember, if you're feeling tired all the time, there can be other causes for this as well, so I am going to leave more information in the description below on when you should speak to your medical provider. Thank you so much for watching, and as we always say at the end of every video, sending awesome vibes, and I will see you next week.